Just for me, I'm walking.
Great Law isn't.
Thank you for the company.
Great Law isn't.
I'm walking. So happy to be
Okay.
walking.
Get your chair.
Happy to be walking. Thank
Ooh, I
you
gotta
for
tighten
the
my.
company.
I gotta tighten my sneakers. Yeah, y'all.
Walking.
Line up if you're walking wall to wall. Get your chair. Everything. Let's get ready. This sneaker beaker. This sneaker beaker. Somehow, no matter how hard I try, I cannot get this one sneaker tight enough. Let's get ready to walk. Y'all probably walking already. I'm coming. Thanks for coming on the walk, y'all. Please like, comment, share. Tell a friend. Tell an auntie. Tell an uncle. Tell a cousin. Boy, do I got stuff to tell y'all. Whew. Never a dull moment in Vicky Land. Never a dull moment in Vicky Land. Hey, y'all. Thanks for coming on the walk. Let me just take care of this Ubers Tubers camera. Cut my head off and everything. Here we go. It started while I was working on the camera. All right, one more, y'all. When I look back on these videos, I said, Lord, have mercy. You know I don't, because that's not my niche. I said, Vicky, you are so old, and you're trying to figure out these cameras, girl. Girl. Trying to figure out these cameras. I got 45 minutes. I can do a little camera design. See, I don't know what's really going on until I put the camera on. See what I'm saying? So then by the time I put it on, then I can fix everything up. Okay, let's get this party started right. Every day and every night. Hey, I hope y'all had a good weekend. I did. I released the promo for my podcast, The Pond Moves First. Yep. Yes. Okay, let me explain it. I'm the executive producer of Neighbors, a show where we teach the basics of chess through music, movement, and song. I'm also the creator of the chess song, which we use to teach the basics of chess. I wrote it up. You know what, I have to ask myself, did I clean my glasses? Oh my gosh, look at that jaw. I don't think I did. But I always do. But I'm getting new glasses this Thursday, just to let y'all know. Just to let y'all know. You won't be seeing all this scratchy, foggy stuff. Yes, okay, the glasses are 5 years old. I got them just before the pandemic. And though I've had prescriptions since then, I've been on quarantine. And I didn't feel like going out there and getting the virus. So that's that. Thanks for coming on the wall. Please like, comment, share. Let's get this party started right. Every day and every night. Anyway, so I have to explain something to y'all, because I just did my promo and I went with Anchor for the podcast, and they have these rules and stuff, and you know, you can't say anything bad about medicine or anything like that. But from what I've read, I am just telling y'all my experience. I am not telling you to do it. I am not encouraging anyone to do anything. And I want to put it out there that when my sister's boyfriend threw alcohol on her and struck a match and threw it on her, and she went up in flames, they took her to Harlem Hospital. And she had just finished cursing me out 3 days before the fire incident. And I went out of town. So when I came back in town, I got a call. And the call said from her friend. She said, oh, we've been trying to reach you all weekend. We didn't have cell phones then. And I was like, what? And she says, we've been trying to reach you all weekend because Dory is in the hospital with, I don't know, third, second degree burns. Anyway, burns from her midsection all the way up on her face and everything. And the friend said to me, oh, everyone, because she had a bar, she lived a bar life. So everyone in the bar was going to see back and forth to see her, you know, because she's very pretty. So I just got back in town. I mean, literally got back in, showered, changed, and came to work. So then, also I was working Capital Mercury, number 2 shirt company in the world, but I know by now that's all marketing. And I had to ask to leave. I couldn't believe what was going on. So I went to my boss, and they weren't happy with me because I had threatened them with calling Al Sharpton if they didn't stop putting these. Every Halloween, Capital Mercury had factories in Alabama, someplace else in the South, and every Halloween they just put on blackface and dressed up like black people, or Aunt Jemima, or Uncle Ben, or all that kind of stuff. And then they would put the pictures, the winners were always the one, like the boombox and the Afro wig guy, he won. Aunt Jemima always wins every year. And I saw that and I said, are you really kidding me? This is what we're doing? I didn't use that language, but you know what I mean. So I got together with the other workers who had worked there long before me, who were minorities, and I said, you know, what's going on? And they said, oh, they've been doing this for years. And I said, y'all let them do this for years? You got to be kidding me. And y'all looked at this stuff for years coming through like this? Anywho, I said we got to get together, sign a petition, everybody's scared. So I went to Human Resource Director and I said, listen, I don't want to call Al Sharpton down here. And then finally another girl, somebody else got a backbone and saw me sitting in there and came in and said, yes, I've been seeing that for a long time, I'm disgusted by it, blah, 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 blah. So then they didn't stop them from doing it. They just stopped sending the Halloween edition of the magazine up north to us. But that was good enough for me. I didn't want to see that bullshit. Anyway, so I had just threatened them to stop that. And here I go in asking on a Monday if I can leave when I basically just got to work. So Barney, I remember his name. So Barney said, you know, we really can't. And I said to him, I really can't stay. And I left. And I went to the hospital. And I blocked everybody from coming in just in time. There was a whole new crew that showed up to see her laying there. And I hadn't seen her yet. I just came in. I'm her sister. Blocked everybody from coming in except the immediate family. And then I gave them the immediate family name. And then I went up to her room, and I saw her, and she was in bad shape. She was burned. I mean, yeah. She had tubes and everything running in and out of her. And I cried. And I saw the nurse staff coming in and out and doing stuff. And right then and there, I turned around and left and went and found an Italian bakery and ordered, excuse me, y'all, right? And ordered 24 bakery donuts and a big thing of flowers, two. One for my sister and one for the nurse's station. And I took those 24, not Dunkin' Donuts, bakery donuts, Italian bakery donuts, honey, and gave it to them nurses. And I said, thank you so much. Thank you for saving my sister, for working with my sister. And then the next day, I stopped and I got cupcakes for everybody at the nurse's station. And by the third day, was it she had come around enough that my sisters had told her that she no longer had her apartment because I made her lose it. And I did. I found out from the detective that that was an apartment of horrors. So, I made her lose it. I'll tell y'all another time how I did that. And she was able to start over again. Now she's a treasure. Well, anyway. So, they told her how they took out the important things and all the kids' important clothes and stuff like that, but the apartment is done for. So when I came in with my last 24 donuts, me and my girlfriend Celine, dropped them off at the nurse's station, thanked them every day, doctors, everybody, for saving and taking care of my sister. And I walked into the room, and my sisters looked at me and she said, bitch, you got my TV? And I said, yes, and you can have it once you're better. And honey, she proceeded to curse me like you would not believe. So my girlfriend turned to me and she said, leave now and don't come back. Leave now. And I did. And I didn't see my sister for 2 years. So what I'm trying to say is, I do appreciate doctors and nurses. I made sure they had flowers. I made sure they had cupcakes and cookies and stuff for donuts for taking care of my sister. When they came through, if I was in the room, I was like, just thank you so much. I just wanted them to know that she was valued. Though her boyfriend, you know the background about it. But I needed you to know that she was valued. And then she cursed me out. And they was probably saying, I don't know why you think she valued. And honey, I started asking myself that same question. Anywho, I just said that to explain to you that I do respect and love doctors and nurses. In emergencies, they are so happy that they're there. But in my case, in my situation, no. I'm more afraid of doctors and nurses than I am the separation of matter and energy. Yep. Matter and energy separation gonna happen. It's gonna happen anyway. It's just gonna happen. But to that process is the doctors and nurses. And to me, that's the suffering part. They said, oh, Vicky, how do you say that's the suffering part? It's the suffering part. I went for 30 years taking antibiotics that they told me later on that I didn't even have to take. I was sick as a dog. And I would tell my dentist, I would tell my doctor, I'm sick, this is horrible. This is horrible. And they said, you gotta take it. Because if that disease, the fungus or whatever it is, gets into your bloodstream and gets to your heart will stop just like that. Then they came back years later and said, whew, let me tell you, you never had to take it. So, I don't know what it did to my system. I don't know all the stuff that it killed. I don't know if it jump-started the deterioration of this or that. I don't think they would do it if it didn't do something to create some kind of economic gain for them down the road. Because I know when I go down, they say, oh yes, we've been expecting you. We set it up like that. By design, hashtag. But I'm just talking about me. So, I just know. And I'm looking at my friends and the age range and different things like that. And I've led a tough life. And being a author, creator out here, trying to do stuff, I've led a rough life, honey. I took both them kicks and on and on and on. So I know I'm battle weary. But I want to go out walking like this on a treadmill, not laying down in the bed, looking at a bunch of pimply-faced white boys, because college be so much only white people can go there. And they look down and they say, oh, look, we got another live experiment. She black, her life don't mean nothing to nobody. Let's start cutting and don't stop. No. But that's just me. And now those are my reasons. And I'm walking every morning. And I'm exercising every day. Okay? And I'm getting my rest. And always, from when I was younger, I would say, just put me down easy. So you see, I know I'm going down, even in my 30s. But I want to be, it's how you put down. I want to be put down easy. I don't want whirling machines around me and a beeping machine on the side. I don't want that. My body never did nothing to me. I had a perfect menstrual cycle. When it came a heavy, but it came on time. I didn't have to use birth control pill. I used the rhythm method. That's how on point my body was. Is. And still is. Trust me, they've been trying to get this water for years. For years. All the blood tests come back. No problem with the water. It's natural water. Oh, no, but we wanna see closer. What? 30 years? Every doctor I went to. Some of them would grab it and start squeezing it. And then they say to me, do it hurt? And I said, of course it does. Why would you choke me? Oh, I wasn't choking you. I was just going to see how. So, I ain't in for no touching. But anyway, these are my notes from this morning. And of course, we got Pride Month. And again, I say, I had such a great time at Brownstone, say it right, Bed-Stuy Brownstone Stories where I read the first scene, the whole setup, characters, and the first scene of my play, one-act play, Sema Versa, set in Brookline, Massachusetts, a black lesbian couple whose daughter is getting married to the son of a bishop and his wife. And it is funny, and you're going to love it. I read as many scenes as I can. I read it next Saturday at 7:30, just as Martin would want. Yes. When I was young, bestest friend was a transgender woman named Martin. And she loved being a woman. And she taught me how to love being a woman. And she the reason why I got a lot of my feminine stuff today. She said, Vicky, I want to tell you, men have always been jealous of women. They've always wanted breasts like women, and they've always wanted a woman's reproductive. And I was like, really, Martin? But I was so young. 21, 22. I was like, really, Martin? And he said, yeah, Vicky. So be careful. I said, okay. Then I'm in my 40s, and if I meet 5 women, 1 or 2 definitely ain't got no womb. 1 or 2 definitely ain't got no breast or 1 breast on. And then there's me. And that's Martin. Martin told me about that. So, reading my play, I'm talking about giving honor to our transgender or our LGBTQ ancestors that walked before you, kicked open doors for you, helped you out. Remember them. And get ready to fight, because as I do my research, these cults with their politicians are getting ready to put more laws in place, because they speak for God. All-powerful God who can do anything needs them. Whew. Anyway, that's my pride. I wanted my cherry blossoms. I love cherry blossoms. The tree on the corner, all the cherry blossoms are dead. It's the seasons. Oh. Why y'all ain't stop me? It's time for us to take a break and get some water. Why y'all ain't stop me? We need water, y'all. We gotta get water. I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy walking. Thank you for the company. Two arm walkers should be enough break for us, right? Walking. Yes, indeed. I'm walking. Just I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking and I'm walking. I'm walking. So 2 wonderful things. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Hey y'all. Let's get back on the saddle again. Let me do my little buttons now. Tyrone told me, don't call him to get your things. Just use the bars, the stop, and the start. So that's my contribution. I didn't put a flag up. I didn't. I wanted to acknowledge Juneteenth because that's something that's important for me to acknowledge openly. I always did a closet wise in June. I used to go and get remembering slavery. I can't even tell y'all. This is, also for Juneteenth, I went down to the African burial ground. And I told y'all that whole story over the Kwanzaa holiday. And I'll tell you it again over the Kwanzaa holiday. Not now. And so I always celebrated it, closet-wise. Because in the cult world, you can't do that because then that's called voodoo and stuff like that. Okay. You can praise Mozart. You can praise Jesus. You can praise any white being who has been in power, and it's fine. It's fine. Even though Hitler came in my head, they praise him anyway. They do it all the time. But if you're African American and you praise and give worthy and notice to African American ancestors that have succeeded in your life, done something like that, they call it voodoo. So you see, I couldn't openly. So I did it in the closet. You just don't invite a lot of people over. Over the holidays, I always did either Remembering Slavery or The Wake of the Wind, a fiction by J. California Cooper. I wish her family would come out and try to put her books out there on the Ubis tubes so the kids can get at it. But she wrote this book of a family that left after Emancipation Proclamation and how they started their lives. Because you see, ain't nobody was out there supporting them, beating the band for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you've been enslaved for what, 700 years? This is how you be free. This is how you do money. This is how you do this. Nothing. It was like, okay, you're free. Either stay and work for nothing or get the hell out. My father used to say that after America dropped bombs on Hiroshima in Japan, that they later went back and they took men of science, engineers like the top notch, and sent them and started almost like retraining, redoing the Japanese thing, society, culture. And he said, and they're spitting out cars today. He said, could you imagine if the African American was allowed that, or if they even put that towards our ancestors after Emancipation Proclamation? He said, do you imagine where we would be? Do you imagine what we would have? And I used to say to him, I do, Daddy. And that's why they didn't do it. And that's why we have to do it ourselves. And he said, that's right. We did have moments. So, in the wake of the wind, they make their own way. They find each other and they come together. There was no cults. No cults. They just band together and took care of one another and grew their family. And then some people would come along, they would take in no cults. There was no cult leader. There was no one telling everybody what to do. It was just them trying to stay alive from the people who had lost the Civil War. So that was The Wake of the Wind. And she writes another book that came to my head. Oh, no, it's The Wake of the Wind. She tells the story of Lighty was her name, Lighty, like for light. Her and her husband, I think her husband's name was Moore, had left the plantation and had set themselves up good, and some more families came, they bought some land, they was taking care of themselves. No cults, no cult leaders. They was working out themselves, having each other back, because the mad Southern losers were attacking and killing at random abandonment, chopping people up, cutting off penises, breasts, everything. The same thing that serial killers did now. But they was doing that back right after Emancipation Proclamation. So she writes about an incident. Now back in the time, because my grandmother told me about that, that's why she got a latch on her screen door. Because she said white people could just walk right in. And they would walk right in and rape you, or walk right in and take whatever food you had that you was cooking. And you couldn't do anything to them, because if you attacked them in any way, they could call the police on you, and the police would say, why are you attacking this white man? And you say, well, he came in my house and he took my food. And he'll say, don't matter what he do, you don't touch him. So you and your whole family could go to jail, you could use your whole house, everything, so you didn't say anything. So J. California Cooper writes in The Wake of the Wind, where Likey is there, they doing good, they got a farm, it's a bunch of freed people who were enslaved. And they're just making their lives about them, happy to be free, growing their own food, having their own cattle and everything. But they didn't move far enough north. And, of course, one day Likey is home, and her husband Moore is out in the field. And Lighty, and her husband Moore is out in the field. And the white man walks in, and he rapes her. Now, Lighty can't tell her husband, because if she tells Moore, and Moore went after the man, Moore would be killed. Because that's how it was. A white man could walk into your house and rape you and walk right back out. He could walk in, take your kids, rape your kids, get your little baby, rape your little baby. Nothing happened to him. Nothing ever happened to him. So, Lottie becomes pregnant. She doesn't tell Moore. And she has twins. And one twin is Moore's complexion, and the other one is like blonde hair and blue eyes. So then Lottie had to tell Moore, and he was angry, but she had to keep telling him, you can't do anything, there's nothing you can do. You'll get us all killed. And that was true for back in the day. So when I think some back on, she wrote fiction, but they said there's truth even in fiction. And I'm telling you, my grandmother told me the story about them being able to walk in and what they do. My grandmother. So I know it's true. So it was horrible for them. after being emancipated proclamation. And then 2 years after Emancipation Proclamation, for the Texas people to find out. And that's what it was. She said it in Remembering Slavery. It was like, okay, y'all free. Like, who want to stay and work for me for nothing? You can never catch up. Who want to work and plow? I'll sell you the seeds, and you give me a quarter or whatever of your field. And then between you can come to my store and get the garbage that I won't sell to anybody else, any decent person. And then you'll owe me, and you'll never be able to pay me back, and you'll stay on this farm, farming for me for free, like in enslavement days, and they did the jig. That's how horrible it was for folks after enslavement. And it's Juneteenth when we should remember that. Okay, so, this is what's on. Yep. I did that. Yeah. All my notes I did, I went through. Wait a minute. I see something at the bottom. Oh no, I got that. Yes. Please like, comment, share, tell a friend. This walk is going good. And stories is flowing. So, oh yeah. So, I did the first promo for the podcast. And every day, I'm going to work on the podcast and get it out there. And what encouraged me to do that, really gave me the fuel, is Sebastian. He is in our Neighbors TV Facebook page. He is the youngest little boy out of the whole cast of Neighbors for that first season. And on Saturday, he graduated from a military academy. What a good choice. What a good choice. Also, he's an excellent basketball player who wins many championships and stuff. But making good choices is what chess is all about. And you go on my Facebook, the Neighbors TV Facebook page, and you'll see that he's there in his uniform. He chose to be regimented. He chose these. It's different when kids are allowed to make choices. I'm telling you, at 16, as a teenager, the reason why I'm standing here right now is because of my good choices. See, and that's how I raised my daughter. I was like, at 16, I know you know how to make good choices. Remember, bad boys do bad things. I had to get that in there. So, the fact that he went that way, and he got a scholarship. So he's going to college. Isn't that something? That is awesome. So, I'm trying to work on the podcast, and I was trying to put it together. I tried to put it together with the editor from Neighbors. Don't want to have nothing to do with it. Coach Victor. Not happening. We were supposed to record last night, and it didn't happen. And then it dawned on me, Sebastian graduated. There's more kids that have graduated. You spotlighted them in Neighbors. They were playing chess. They were teaching chess. You got to get this podcast together. You got to get this podcast together and highlight these folks and show, yes, critical thinking. Critical thinking before you move. Making the right choices. Making the right decisions. Yes, teens can do it all the time. And that's why I produced dishwasher, chief, neighbors. And over the course of the years, we touched so many kids' lives. So great. So great. So now I can go back and find them and see what they're doing and try to. But what I have to do first is I have to get out the first season. Because it's hard for people. I ain't just get African American, and I just didn't start producing stuff. I've been producing my plays before I started Neighbors or anything else. And I know I have to have a lot of episodes behind me before I can get any guests to come on where they say, oh, yeah, this is a podcast. Oh, you have 5 episodes. You have 6. You see, then they say, oh, this is a serious podcast. And I said, yeah, we just want to know where you are in this life and how critical thinking and just a lot of things. Oh, okay. We got 3 minutes before we start our hand exercises. And then we got 5 minutes before the walk is over. So, it was Sebastian that gave me the fuel to do our promo, which I'll be sharing on the Ubis Tubis and on YouTube and on, where else? Facebook. And I think we'll have a real good time. I think maybe some parents that watch it, if I can get any I did the show I had 7 seasons. Apple knocked out the 7th, a little bit of the 6th, and quite a few more episodes when it asked me to do an update. And that's why I got an Apple right now and I won't do any updates. So I got to hurry up and get everything done and uploaded and out there and downloaded before the fact that I'm not downloading anything catches up to me. So that's why I'm working so hard. And also the fact that, like I told y'all, I don't really know what them antibiotics did to me all those years. I know that every time I had to have anything done on tooth, I was as sick as I've ever been in my life until I just stopped and said, let the teeth rot. But I don't know. So I'm putting my plays out there. I'm taking them out the file cabinet closet. The closet with the file cabinet. And I'm putting it out there on my channel. And I'm doing the podcast. And I'm putting the great works of everybody of Neighbors. Everybody participated in Neighbors. And just letting them know you did such a good job. And even like putting Sebastian out there, that's a good job we did. We did a lot of them. I'll try to get as many kids as I can. But when you're a one-man band and you're an old black woman, and if I tell you I had to go through to get even the promo, you would laugh. I'm sure there's an easier way of doing it, but I don't know it, and I've tried to get people to train me, and it doesn't happen, so I do it my way. And that's what you get. And I've listened to quite a few podcasts. And in the beginning, it's rough riding. Maybe along the way, Anchor will say, why don't you do this or try this? Or somebody will say, why don't you try this or do this? Let me slow this party down, honey. Paul is right. When I used to work in the Planet Fitness, Paul used to say, come here, come Vicky. Come work out on whatever machine he was on. If he was on the treadmill, come walk on this treadmill with me. If we talk and we walk, it goes by so much faster. And doesn't it? The walk is almost over. Whew. Let's do some stretches, honey. Stretches. Yeah. Whew. Yeah. Finger to finger. Da-da-da-da-da. The finger to finger. Finger, the finger, the fingers, yeah. The fingers, fingers. Fingers all day. I use them a lot. I use my fingers all the time. I use them all the time. That's why I need them. I need them. I need them. I need them all the time. Oh. Whew. Whew. Ciao. Whew. Whew. Ciao. Whew. Ha ha. Yeah. Let me slow it down one more time. And let me get some water in me, y'all. I got this fan blowing straight on me. And it feels good, y'all. You know what I didn't do? I didn't check my pulse throughout the whole Moraga. Here we are. Yes. Okay. Okay, I said, oh, I don't have to worry about tucking in the arm closest to the screen. I can start with the one I want to. Let's do 10. Squeeze your gut, tuck in your elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Shake it out, shake it out. Squeeze your gut. Tuck in your elbow. Let's do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And one for good luck. Ha ha ha! Whoop the ha! So, look how fast, y'all. Whew. Yeah, we did it. Yes, indeed. Please like, comment, share. Tell a friend, tell an auntie, tell an uncle, tell a cousin. This old lady, she walks slow. But the leg muscles get tight. And that core is engaging. So right here. And she don't talk about no diet stuff. Get you to buy nothing. She just said walk. And then listen to your body. Yeah. Thank you for the company. Please like, comment, share, tell a friend. Tell an uncle. Tell an auntie. Tell a cousin. Yeah.
Thank you for the company. I
walked. Please like, comment, share. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for your support.
Thank you for the company.